Hey guys, Keitaro here, and today we're going to be going over the fundamentals on how to properly play Warfare mode in Delta Force. That way it's more enjoyable for you and will also be beneficial for your teammates while playing. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to shoot me a like and sub as this helps the page. Don't forget to also hit the bell icon so you know when my videos first drop. So let's get into it. The most important thing you need to know is that Delta Force and games like this, such as Battlefield, play rather differently than other PvP shooters, especially 5v5 or 6v6 arena shooters. This is not something like Call of Duty where you fight another team of 6 on small maps. This is a large-scale warfare that consists of 64 players total and takes place on really big maps. This means that the dynamics of the gameplay loop are going to be different than that of an arena shooter, which means you're going to have to take new approaches to combat than you ever done before. Some of the fundamentals will carry over. However, there's going to be things you'll be doing very differently due to the nature of the large-scale combat scenarios in the system. The first thing you really need to know is that you truly have to play as a team. This is very team-based, and cooperation is monumental or else your team is cooked. The two most important factors into playing as a team are sticking with your team and knowing your role and playing that role well. Let's get this first fundamental out of the way, and that's to actually stay with your team. Unlike arena shooters where the opposing team consists of 6 people, you're dealing with a team of 32 on the other side. This means you can't just solo push an area because the other team is probably gonna bum rush you with a squad of 10 or more people and instantly squash you or your whole team instantly. This is where you need to stick with a competent squad of players so you guys can effectively push through. The advantage doesn't come from strictly mechanics, but rather how you can outnumber and overwhelm a squad of players. Don't be the one that gets overwhelmed. So don't push an area on your own unless you're confident you can take on a certain amount of people at once within a given zone. For example, there's a corridor that leads to a particular room and whatnot. You're not going to want to go in by yourself because there's a potential 5 or 6 stack waiting to just barrage you. Instead, wait until like 4 or 5 teammates push and join with them. You can use them as aggro so you can do a flank and get an easy 5 pick within that area. Don't fight off more than what you can shoot. That's the rule of thumb here. Next, you need to understand what your role is. There are 4 main classes in the game: Assault, Support, Engineer, and Recon. Each of them have access to a particular set of weapons and kits that cater to various playstyles. Assault class is like your DPS. Their kits are based on mobility and are used to rack kills. D-Wolf has sliding for his passive with grenade launchers as his ability, and for his ult he can charge up and move swiftly with a movement boost. Viren has the ability to jump boost with a passive that grants minimal fall damage and increased movement buffs. He can also use a rocket launcher and magnetic bombs, which is similar to that of a sticky grenade. They mainly rock ARs and shotguns, but you can kit out the ARs to your liking based on your playstyle. When you play Assault class, make sure you're aggressive and are good mechanically, as these are the upfront DPS players. Support class acts as either as a healer or enemy suppression. Stinger has a healing gun which allows for quick revives and active healing when you shoot it at your teammates. Toxic can blind enemies with the smoke grenade and swarm ult, while also being able to adrenal boost to nearby allies to increase their handling and reduce hit flinch. Support characters have access to very particular ARs like the K416 and a wide array of SMGs. When playing support, make sure you actually stick with your teammates, as you need to either heal them or give them buffs. You should never do solo pushes, as your teammates will need you. Recon characters give intel to your team in terms of enemy locations on the map. These characters essentially give you your wall hacks. Luna has an arrow that when darted it will reveal enemy locations. Hackclaw can do the same with her device within a certain radius. These characters can use snipers, shotguns, and ARs. Recon players should constantly give intel to their teammates when their abilities are available. You should especially give intel before your team pushes forward. Finally, the engineers are similar to your tanks but also have utilities that's beneficial to vehicle play. Engineer players get access to a welding gun which can be used to repair vehicles. Shepard can suppress the enemy through sonic paralysis but can protect vehicles with his passive. Oluru's ability can fire a guided missile and can provide defense by throwing deployable cover. Seneva acts as a tank for his infantry with his shield and can reel in enemies with his grapple gun. Shepard and Oluru's priorities are destroying vehicles, repairing ally vehicles, and enemy suppression. Now we need to understand the nature of these maps. These are large maps with various sightlines, so you need to understand how to tackle certain aspects. And there are 2 common areas of combat on these maps: open areas and close quarters. Wide open areas that have little to no cover should be traversed either through vehicles or in large groups. I wouldn't recommend going solo. This is where smoke from support characters are going to be beneficial so you don't get cooked through long sight lines. The next common area of a map are going to be close quarters areas. Here's where your reflexes are going to kick in and combat is going to get aggressive but methodical. Get ready to pre-aim and peek corners so you can catch corner campers off guard. Be wary of pushing solo because you can also run into a stack. Assault characters will greatly benefit from attacking in the front line. Recon should be in the back lines providing wall hacks so it's easy to get the jump on the enemy. Support should be in the middle getting ready to provide support and healing but can also do damage and get a handful of kills whenever possible. They should only push forward to the front line when it is safe to do so, such as when Toxic does her swarm ability. But those are some of the basic fundamentals you need to know for Warfare mode so it'll be a lot easier for you. Again, if you liked today's video, be sure to give me a like, sub, and turn on your notifications for more Delta Force and FPS content. Let me know in the comments what else I should cover. Other than that, we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!